Okay, and welcome to AI, the cool stuff. Yeah, so it's sort of welcome this week. As usual, we shall go around the room and find out what everybody does, and we're going to talk about some stuff that we've found this week. So, okay, I think we might as well just start off as usual, and we'll just quickly go around the room and tell us what we do. And I'd be interested to know. I mean, I think I use AI a lot more than I used to. I'm probably using it all bloody day long, actually, when I think about it, because everything I do, I sort of add it in, even rewriting stuff, and whether it's mostly through Copilot and ChatGPT or creating images and things. But how often do you use AI? That's what I want to know. So there's a cat.
It's a Baggins.
So we'll go around. So we'll start. My Nicola, you were here first. Let's start with you.
I entered the room first. All of you all know who I am because we do this every Friday. I run Technic Solutions, which is a marketing agency. We have been specialising in startups. I'm looking to find more startups and anybody else that needs any type of marketing. Maybe also collaborators as well. I've got an offer on at the moment where I can drive more traffic to your website and support the conversion of the sale. It just takes a conversation. So I'm Nicola Holt, Technic Solutions, take flight.
Perfect. Thanks, Nicola. Steffi.
Steffi Lewis, 30-year veteran web developer, turning copy into code since 1993. I use AI all day, every day, because I write AI stuff. So we've got Splogit, which is my AI-driven blogging platform that will create blog posts for you in mere minutes rather than hours. And I'm currently working on your PCM version 2, which will also have a lot of AI built into it. So watch this space, kids.
Perfect. Great. Shirley.
Yeah, good morning. I am Shirley. I work in health and wellness, hence the blurbs behind me. They're actual products, not just empty bottles. So those are the things that I use on a daily basis. Not that you can see what they are from where you are. I also help people to earn an extra income using these very same products to show you how you can have a healthier lifestyle and perhaps a bit more money in your pocket. I am still learning about the AI stuff. I don't use it very often, and it's a work in progress. So I'm Shirley. I help you to look good and feel fabulous.
Perfect. Thanks, Shirley. Jane.
Hi there, Jane Chakraborty in Victor Linux. We provide IT solutions to small and medium-sized businesses, focusing on privacy and security, and we use Linux and open source. We also do software licenses, and yeah, I've become completely dependent now on AI. I use it for almost everything. How do I cook that? Why do I need that? Who's this person? What's that doing? What's the latest in this? And well, we'll talk about it later, but I've been using Perplexity a lot more as well. It's yeah, pretty impressive.
Yeah, I mean, sort of, I know Andy does as well, but I mean, I use Perplexity. I don't hardly ever use Google.
No, I went to
go on to Google to sort out my clients' Google business stuff. You know, I mean, it's I hardly ever actually do a search on it.
Yeah. There's definitely I went to Gemini, I think, you know, and it was useless, absolutely useless. Perplexity and Pi, goodness, why do they begin with P? Were much more efficient.
Yeah, great.
That's me.
You say perplexity or complex? Which one is it?
Perplexity.
Perplexity.ai. So it's basically a search, but it's also an AI as well. But it gives you great results.
It's also got massive funding behind it as well.
Yeah. So who's funding Perplexity?
think it's all done via VC type stuff.
Right. Okay.
It'll be, yeah, it's one of the next unicorn type things, and someone will eventually come along and try and buy it or whatever.
Yeah, brilliant. Okay, Andy, tell us about you, mate.
Yeah, Andy, Web Success Insights, which is much more of my focus. Very similar to what Nicola's doing in a way, trying to help people understand where they're going wrong with their websites, their marketing, and how to fix it, but trying to find ways of making it cost effective, which is the nightmare for most businesses. They don't want to, I found over the years, they don't want to spend a lot of money. You have to build a little bit of trust first. So it's trying to give something for nothing and seeing if there's somewhere to go from that. That's really important. And I think we're certainly in a time, particularly with agencies, where a lot are having to collude together because people seem to be spending less on marketing at the moment.
Yeah.
The use of AI is, like everyone else, quite a lot. I haven't found it able to take over much of what I do. I'm still working on that. I'd like to become lazy and let it do a lot of the stuff I do. It's not quite worked. It's obviously not screwy enough to think the way my mind thinks. And I've really productive use of AI recently for me was to use the WebSim.ai thing that we used before, which is organising a randomizer for the pub crawl round Canterbury tonight. Me and my mates are going on.
Oh, brilliant. What better you say? I mean, I can't think of anything.
It's just stunning how fast you can spin things up in that. But as another thing, I messaged you, Steffi, about this. There are so many people coming into the system offering things, like Splogit and other stuff, trying to do people's AI stuff for them. And some of them have got it completely wrong in the way they're focusing it. They're all trying to sort of, pay for it now, do this. Steffi, you're doing the right thing, giving them a trial for free. There's no doubt about that.
Yeah, I think I've got the right combo. It's working. I get sign-ups every week. So
yeah,
that's great. I must get some tuition from you, Steffi. I'm a bit stuffed.
Yeah, go into the help tab and then just book a one-to-one.
Okay, thanks. But I must tell you before we begin, I must tell you this brilliant phrase that I heard the other day. We are legacy wetware.
yeah.
Isn't that great?
Where was that?
It was on a program called The Verb, which is on BBC Radio 4, and they had authors, and they were comparing AI and what they could do, what confuses them, what they can't do very well against authors. And one of the authors was just saying that he'd come up with this expression of legacy wetware, obviously compared with hardware, software, and our spongy brains and things. And I just thought, it's perfect.
Excellent.
That's an interesting phrase to use for humans, isn't it? Wetware.
Yeah.
I mean, hardware, software, vaporware, I've heard as well. I've heard that
Yeah. I thought it was quite good.
Suppose we are mostly water.
Yeah.
And and I'm apart from running this, I am a WordPress guy, expert. I do work with other people. I'm not I don't regard myself as a marketer, but I've learned a lot over time. But it's not I wouldn't. There are people better than me. I work well with people that know that can give me the concepts of the marketing and everything, and then I can put that into action on a web page. So I think that's I come in with that technical side rather than the other sort of marketing. Although I do know a lot of stuff, I'm exposed to marketing all the time. So it's but I do like working with proper marketers, and then they can tell me if something's crap or not, and I can go along and produce something else, and they say, yeah, that's brilliant. So it is something.
If we find any, we'll let you know.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah. So I demoed a series of kind of logos or homepage images I was creating yesterday. I did it on Peppercorn, but it was it sort of progressed from something the customer really liked, but the marketing guy said was shit. And then we slowly progressed our way through to we ended up with something a lot simpler that the marketing guy liked and the client liked, and it looked cool as well. So it was like a progression. So you just got to keep everybody happy. So it's I was having Philip going to be here because we were Philip, who was here last week. He said he was coming this week, but obviously he's been held up or he can't make it. Philip Waite, I do a lot of work with him. He does he runs a company called Affinity. No, it's not called Affinity anymore. It's changed its name to something else. But it's he actually does servers and things like that, and he's got a team of people in Cairo, and so sometimes we can offer things to clients that's kind of mundane work wise, but he does it at a price that I can then make some money offering it to my clients for a good price. And then so I work with him quite a lot. But he was they've been looking around for that they're doing social media, particularly what they're working on at the moment is posting on social media. So, and it's like doing it all for you. So they're trying to get to a situation where you do nothing apart from pay your prescription. And then off it goes, does some investigating, see who's posting what, create posts for you, and then post it onto your social media. So that's the dream. I mean, it's not there, but it's something they're working on to make it completely, because it is a pain in the arse, isn't it, doing social media? Nicola would know that you use tools, don't you, to do social media?
Yeah, it's apparently it's the least responsive for return on investment. There are like the other areas of marketing are greater return on investment, yet we still want to put money into social media. I was speaking to a client yesterday and he said, look, can we sort something out with Facebook? I said, rather do a plan first, rather do maybe the market research, rather do keyword research, do something that builds up the knowledge base before you start putting money into paying for Facebook ads. I don't mind them paying me to put them out if that's what they truly want to do, but I would rather give them the advice to put something in place so that they kind of know where the plan of action is going before they actually gain the detail. But he's a very experienced business person, and he was just saying, it doesn't matter to me. I just want to gain a snippet of the market using this particular resource. That's fine. I don't mind. But I know that it's temperamental and you don't always get the results that you want to have.
No, well, they change the rules, or they change the algorithms, and they at a drop of a hat, and then your strategy goes out the window then, doesn't it? So it's
yeah.
So I think reels are still working, evidently. So it's all about video, isn't it? So it's and in the future it will be more so, because as Google dies off, Perplexity takes over, maybe Google might fight back, who knows? But YouTube is going to be where it's at. And but there's a lot of guff on YouTube as well. I've seen lots of AI generated stuff, and someone's got like a really interesting topic and they've done it on ChatGPT, just keyed in a prompt, copied and pasted the entire thing, then put it into a voice sort of generator, and generated the film, and got some basic films, and it sounds really wooden. It sounds terrible, and you just know, like, even when it's speaking, it sounds like, and ChatGPT with no refinement, with no
I use it. I use Veed. I use the Veed area, and I think that putting like a short 30-second video together, I'm getting quite a bit of traction. And the last week, I've nearly got 1,000 views.
Yeah, reels are really working.
Yeah.
And you can repurpose, I know we talked about it before, but you can repurpose those reels. You can make a 30-second video, and then you can post it on Facebook Reels. You can do it on Instagram. You can put it on TikTok. You can sling it on YouTube as well, because they do Reels, Shorts, whatever they call it. It's all the same thing. They're really, I'm a bit worried about it for society, because we're not retained. You know, we haven't got the ability to watch anything for longer than 30 seconds before we get bored and go away somewhere else. You know, I mean, people are producing like 2-hour videos on philosophy that are really interesting and really important, and no one's getting to listen to them because 2 hours, I'm not spending 2 hours watching a YouTube video. I'll watch
Surely it should rank videos based on the proportion of the things that are watched compared to the size. So if it's a 30-second video and Google has an idea of how long people are watching that for, surely they should be ranking things accordingly over time. Same with a 2-hour video. It might be that, you know, half an hour in is better than the people who looked at 10 minutes in.
Yeah.
It doesn't seem to rank in that way.
No. No.
And it knows, that's the stupid thing about it. It knows this data, and I would be really surprised if Google really don't have a plan. I mean, they're acting like they haven't got a plan, but the horse would have bolted by that time.
Yeah.
Then that happens.
Yeah, because they're sort of one of the main investors in Claude, aren't they? But I mean, it's but who knows? But then Microsoft.
Google will have a plan. They'll have a plan. Don't worry.
You'd think so, but we don't know what it is. It's almost like they're giving us disinformation of the Gemini junk that they're chucking out there.
Yeah.
Just to keep everyone else off guard.
I think they'll adjust it through the comments that are made. So a lot of people are are putting good reviews out on it, and other people aren't. It depends on what your experience is.
Yeah.
I have noticed more of the AI generated responses in Google more recently, though. They seem to be much more popular coming up, particularly for the how-to type things.
Yeah, but with Claude, for instance, they were one of the first people to invest in Claude, Anthropic, I should say. But it's mainly owned by the people that started it in the first place, and but they stumped up to 2 billion. But then Amazon have come along and given them 4 billion for Anthropic. So I mean, they just throw away billions like we you know.
Isn't Meta supposed to have the best Llama 1.3 or something? It's supposed to be the most.
Actually, yeah, because I did a little test that I'll show you in a little while, and I did the same prompt in various things, and I was surprised at how good Llama was. It was the response I got back was really quite good. And I know we're sort of putting the boot in on Google quite a lot, but the worst was Gemini.
I've now taken it back. I've taken it all back because I've just done a Google search to see what the AI does for how to identify home addresses of website visitors, which is what we do.
Yeah.
And we're now top of the AI overview. And I like them now.
You'll get.
But it wasn't there before. It wasn't happening
Nobody's
before.
going to go there and see it. They'll all be on Perplexity.
Yeah.
Did you shot yourself?
But it's worth doing to see, for all of us to be typing things into Google, even though we've got views on it, just to see what these AI type things are throwing up.
Yeah. The trouble is that sometimes people are fooled by the Google algorithm because it uses locality. It's kind of people say, oh, I'm number one for accountants in Berries Green. You know, I said, well, where are you? I'm in Berries Green. You know, so I said, well, if you go down to the roundabout, down to the road, and key it in, you're going to get different. You have to go into what we call sort of secret mode, or what's it?
Sorry.
Yeah.
Incognito. Yeah.
Yeah. So you can go into so it doesn't know where you are, and then try it, and you get a totally different search result. Suddenly you know where to be seen.
Yeah.
I think you've just got to treat it how treat it with respect. Just treat it how you would, how you would want to be treated. A lot of the time when you put in different energy in, or you're looking for different ways, I think, firm and fair is quite, obviously within reason, but when you're dealing with something, whatever, whether it's a person, whether it's a software, whether it's practical things, whether it's AI, what have you, treat it with the level of respect, you know, that it deserves.
Okay.
Yeah.
Right. The thing that I was talking about with Philip in the week, earlier this week, possibly, it could be, yes, it was definitely this week, because it's on Friday, was play.ht, which is something they're using. And I'll just I had a quick look at it. It's quite impressive. So I'll let me just share. Just that the right one? Yeah. Okay. So this is play.ht. There's no limit. I've got a limit of 12,000 characters. You either if you subscribe, you get unlimited voice and masses and masses of voices. But there are so many. It's ridiculous. So you can just change the voice, and there are
play.ht.
So there's all these voices. But what you can do, and it doesn't cost you any more, you're only allowed one on the free account, is to create your own voice as well. You can just record. I haven't done it. I'll play it to you in a second, my voice, but I only spent 30 seconds doing my voice. You can train it better, but I mean, and it can do there, which I thought this was, I don't know.
Imagine attending a networking event. You meet numerous people, exchange information, and then the time comes to sort through the pile of business cards collected. Which ones stand out? The crisp, well-designed cards on high-quality paper, or the flimsy, poorly printed ones?
We all laugh at the flimsy, poorly printed ones. So I mean, so that's there. So you can generate. There's no limit to the number of characters in a conversation. Whereas when you use ChatGPT, I think what is it? Is it 4,000? Is it 4,000 characters?
On the standard models, yeah, there are extended models that do 8K, 16K, 32, and 128.
Oh right, okay.
They cost more, obviously.
Yeah. I think that they will come out as obviously that's going to be a work. You know, it's gonna get better with those. But what I did was I just keyed in my own voice. I'm not a pheasant plucker. I'm a pheasant plucker's mate, and I'm only plucking pheasants cause the pheasant plucker's late. Right. So that's that was my voice, and that was just with 30 seconds worth of training.
It's quite close, isn't it?
Yeah.
Very close.
So
it's not an actual recording.
No.
Oh my goodness.
That's generated through on this platform. I haven't spent a penny on it yet.
Did you have to use a certain sentence when you spoke into it originally? No.
I just went onto ChatGPT and said, I'm training play.ht. Can you give me 30 seconds worth of stuff I could read that would give it a range of emotions and things? And it gave me a script. That was ChatGPT, and then I recorded that in, because you can record anything. It just says use different styles of your voice as much as you can. So that's what I did, and it came up with that. It's not, well, it's pretty close. I mean, it's pretty close to my voice. So
wouldn't it be fascinating to do a series of that? You know, I don't know, 4 or 5, and just do a post on LinkedIn each week of the audio.
Yeah.
Just talking about something and see if anybody picks up on it without telling them it's that.
Yeah. Because you could just put an image or a couple of images on that with that voice, because I thought, well, then you could just do conversations. So this morning, just before we started, this isn't. This may not be perfect. So this is one I just recorded just before we started. I just did a voice called Indigo because she's a bit slow and sexy. So
oh my gosh, you're a WordPress web designer.
Sounds like she's
like the coolest job ever.
Sounds like she got
Well, I
through.
do my best.
Jay.
Every day you get to wrangle widgets.
That sounds more like David's weekend drag job, to be honest.
I just love WordPress websites. They're like the unicorns of the internet, magical and perfect.
Unicorns? I suppose that makes me a bit of a unicorn.
sore throat.
I even have a special plugin for that.
Do you really?
Absolutely. But beware, with great power comes great responsibility and a lot of updates.
Updates. Updates are just opportunities to make something already perfect even better.
Spoken like a true WordPress aficionado. I think you and I are going to get along really well. I mean, that was just a very quick thing that I just put in. Again, I generated this on ChatGPT and just pasted it in and did it. But I can see like possibilities of you could have like a massive conversation and you never actually do anything at all, you know.
Yeah, brilliant.
Your voice on it, David, sounded echoey. Is that because the way when you recorded it in the first place?
I think so. I think so. I did notice that it wasn't as upfront or as clear as the other one. I'll have to try. I've got a feeling I recorded it with the mic, with the built-in mic, rather than the
okay, yeah.
one in
So
front.
I think I'm being really thick here, but so you've got the phrases from ChatGPT, the text, and you record it in ChatGPT.
Oh.
You put it in to help. Oh, sorry, it's play.ht, and it listens to it, and then it can produce a script or whatever based on the voice it's just listened. It's just learnt on.
No, I just paste the script into play.ht.
Right.
And then I can choose the voices. So if I create a new file, it gives you an option for different models. I've only ever used the top one because I haven't used it extensively. And then you can just type your script. So it's got a sample.
Mm.
Let me pull up your detail. It's got a load of crap. But I mean, so hello, how are you today? This is so if I just generate the speech. You can, every time you press enter, it enters a new paragraph, and each paragraph can have a different voice. You can speed the voice up or slow it down. So we can just generate that, and then
Hello, how are you today?
so that's Ruby. So we can just change the voice by clicking on her name, and then you can.
All right, so teaching subtraction to a kid, you know, can actually be like pretty fun and engaging. You could maybe start with, I don't know, maybe visual aid.
Hey, thank you for calling Sunshine Apartments. I was calling in regards to the inquiry you had for the apartment listing you saw.
Hey, thank you for calling Sunshine Apartments. I was calling in regards to the inquiry you had for the apartment listing you saw.
Hello. If you're looking to be effortlessly guided into a state of restfulness, or just have a soft voice without distractions, I just might be the voice for you.
Hey there. This is Melissa from Amazon Customer Support.
So, I mean, oh, did I? I didn't click on the thing, did I? So then you just confirm, and then it'll.
Hello, how are you today?
Okay. So then, and then you can also speed it up or slow it down. You can speed it up to half speed or do it 1.5 times the speed. You can do those slow voices. I imagine they would be good for meditation and things like that. You know, if you were making a meditation CD of some sort, you could probably generate a meditation on ChatGPT or Claude, and then paste that in here and there. Now it's not. Although you get 12,000 characters for free to try it out, it's the best value one's about $300 a year. So, which is
nowhere near enough for me.
Yeah,
Nowhere near enough for me. If I was to build that into Splogit, I'd have to pay the £999 a month one.
Oh, right, okay. A month. Okay. Oh, it's got an API, has it? It's got, oh,
yeah,
yeah.
the API costs go from $0 to $5 a month to $299 a month to $999 a month.
Wow.
I know, it's crazy.
You'd have to sell it at a,
I'd have to charge a huge amount of money to do that.
Yeah. Yeah.
I'll stick with TTS on OpenAI.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah. But it's a good, I mean, it's a good tool. And if you wanted to do conversations and have those particular voices as well, like I said, for sort of meditation or something, I thought it was pretty good. If I was to upgrade, okay, $374 a month. I'm sure that's dearer than it was the other day. Oh no, this one unlimited, 348. So they've got this one, which was $99 a month, is $29 if you buy a year's worth, but you don't get the API for that, do you? So yeah.
That's a stupid jump in money.
It is, isn't it? Yeah. So I mean, it's 10 million characters, and you're still limited to 10 million characters a month. The studio prices are unlimited for the this is unlimited use.
Yeah, but you've got to go in and manually do it. I had a conversation with somebody who's a voice artist, and he said, you know, is there any way I could get my voice into Splogit? And I said, there's one thing I forgot to put in there was an MP3 uploader. So because I've done it with the images, you can upload your own image in there. Well, I don't remember why I didn't do it with the audio uploader, because he said, oh, I'd love to blog, but I need to use my voice. So I was like, okay.
Yeah.
But you know, this is good because you could write, you know, you could just copy and paste the blog post into it, create an MP3 and upload it into Splogit, and then you've got your own voice.
Yeah.
So it's worth promoting to people.
Yeah. Have they got a can you make money? Is there a
I think this is where
is a referral fee?
Yeah, if there's a referral fee, that'd be good.
I mean, that would be better, because then you'd actively encourage it rather than just.
I can see where things are going to head in the AI world. That you're going to get various consultants who charge a little amount of money each month to people, just to point them in the direction of the things that are the lower cost things they could be doing, combining all sorts of different types of AI stuff. So the sort of things we discuss here, but a bit like the Matt Wolf type stuff, but just
that's right,
charging people and just saying, right, what are you looking for? What's your requirement right now? And taking them down that path.
Yeah. Even, you know, it might even be worth a free call for some people to, if they're going to buy one of the products, and because then you get paid every month, you know, usually with these things, or every year you get the commission.
It could be a membership type thing. Going back to, you know, so Nicola, when you know the way the marketing sort of world is going, people potentially pay a membership fee to be part of a collective that all together give the right advice and don't fight amongst themselves. And that could happen in various different sectors.
Because with Hagen, you can create your own avatar as well. You know, you can either upload just a photograph of yourself and it'll talk, or you can do there, and then you do both the image and there. But Hagen is really expensive, because it's like $1 a minute, you know, or even more than that. So I think you have to pay. No, it's $2 a minute. I think it's $29 for 15 minutes a month. So it's not, you don't get a great deal. And then you've got like uplifts as well that you can cost it, you know, about the same price. So you've got to, I suppose it's okay if you're making a 1-minute video every couple of days and you don't mind paying $29 a month. I suppose it's okay. It's but then I would rather do it myself, because I can still tell Hagen videos, I can still tell they're AI, whereas the voices are really good, you know, as Steffi's. I haven't done it, but you're supposed to say this is AI generated, aren't you? Because
it says in the footer of Splogit, you know, a lot of the things in here are AI generated, because OpenAI have said the voices are that good, you have to declare that it's AI. That's their terms and conditions. So I just put it in the footer.
Yeah, that's an idea, because that's really good. But I think it's I think you can generate, sort of, once you get to generating images to go along with the voice, you wouldn't necessarily need Hey Jen, you wouldn't necessarily need a talking head, because you could have the voice along with some engaging images that flip round sort of when you get to a new paragraph, and use that instead. You could just do that on Canva. Quite, it'll take you a few minutes, but it's probably be worth it. So good. So that was play.ht. Anyone ever heard of Durable?
No.
Because I haven't had a Durable. Is it? Oh yeah. It's something, when I tried it before with another, you can create websites for free on Durable, but you only have to pay if you want to use it. I mean, so it's kind of a, let me just, I don't even know what it does. So, it's going to happen. Okay, what type of business are we building? Let's say landscaping.
Durable.
Yeah, durable.co. So let's leave that as Lewisham. I think he's picked that up from my internet connection. Lewisham landscapes. Oh, your website's been generated. I haven't even actually told anything else. It's,
It's a bit insane that it's doing. Look at that. Put it out.
Greenleaf landscaping.
Wow.
And Greenleaf landscaping. I'm not called Greenleaf, I'm called Lewisham Landscapes. But you can then, obviously it's not gonna.
It's seriously impressive.
Yeah. So then you can just go in and you can obviously edit each section, you change the images, change the other, and then I don't know what sort of website it is though. I mean, it hasn't put a. It has generated a logo, but it's
Can you see the source from here, David? Do you know? Probably not.
No, I know nothing about this. I only just so edit made with Durable.
So how would you host it then?
I don't know. I haven't even logged in yet.
Oh, okay.
Oh,
You have to pay.
you don't have to pay to start it, and then
Yeah, you got to sign up before you're allowed to play with it, though.
Yeah. So let's. Publish your website. Go with a custom domain name. What's it gonna do? Okay. Yearly billing. People are going to go for the monthly billing. Oh, it's not too bad. Sometimes they have like an insane monthly billing, and like sort of £100 a month or £12 a month if you pay yearly.
Well, what are we paying for, David? Do you know? Is it hosting? Is it domain? What's
all of
it? I don't know.
Yeah, it must be at least hosting. I guess it must be hosting. So
all of the things in the features you're getting. That's what you're paying for.
Yeah, yeah.
You can only have one business unless you go. So you couldn't run it as a web design business.
Mm.
You're allowed £80 a month. You know, I suppose it's people who use Wix and things like that. I suppose they can invoicing. Don't know what that is. Social post generator. So I suppose I'd have to look into this a little bit more to see what these things were. But I mean, one business gives you a custom domain name, unlimited pages. You access their stock images, but you can get them for free anyway. Chat support. It's got CRM with it.
Yeah.
For this middle one.
Won't be very clever though.
No, no. Social post generator. Invoicing.
It's pretty clever.
Yeah, yeah. $20 a month, I suppose.
Wish I'd written it.
Yeah, yeah. So
oh, that was yearly billing, by the way. I don't know what the monthly billing
Yeah,
was.
it was yearly.
Yeah, yeah.
So the CRM would probably be hosted with it, so you'd have to. Well, you don't know if where. Well,
it'd be an
anyway.
all-in-one. You'd be stuck in
Yeah,
the thing. I
yeah,
think.
yeah.
So I think that's. But it was pretty quick, I must admit.
Yeah, I really like that. I'm quite impressed with it.
Yeah.
My compliments to the developers.
Yeah, yeah. So I mean, it's got everything on there that you would need. You need to put more stuff in the footer and things, but I mean, but yeah.
I just wonder how you'd edit it, or would it be,
Well,
I think
you just click on the block. So I mean, you can click on the block and you just change it. It doesn't look like WordPress. It looks like something else. So you can you can change it. So it's giving me those.
But I wonder if you wanted to put there's no navigation on this first page, is there? So, or learn more, obviously. But if you wanted to do that, how would you?
Yeah.
Well, I suppose you just click and drag, maybe.
You can add a section.
Yeah,
yeah. You've got banners, headed text. There must be a button in there. So.
What was the program we looked at? Was it last week or the week before? It was also a website creator. I can't remember. Oh, this is why I need a list.
Yeah, they're all on the old. There's nothing there.
I made a list. What were we talking about?
Another was it a web?
Another website generator. WinZip. Was it ZipWin? Is it
WinZip? Or yeah, I think so.
No, it wasn't WinZip. It was Zip something.
Gamma? Not Gamma. No.
Zip WP.
Zip. That's it. That's it.
Zip.
I know what you mean by WinZip, though.
Yeah. It says zip up files. Yeah. It's so yeah. You can change the colors, change the images. I couldn't find an add button, but I'm sure there must be one.
Yeah, probably.
So text and image. I mean, these are just.
I mean, if you could just take that, download the whole thing, whatever supporting files it needs, and host it yourself, that would be perfect, wouldn't it?
Yeah. So I mean, yeah.
If you were someone who was just on Facebook and wanted to get something out quick, it could work.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's going to be lots of small businesses that are just going to use it as is.
Yeah.
The problem is they're not going to know how to actually get the things properly visible and stuff. So they just end up with a website that looks a bit better than the Facebook page.
Well, a lot of small businesses, well, a lot of people I come into contact with the first time, or that they're puzzled why they're not being found, that they're exactly what they do. They just create a website on Wix and then wait for all the orders to roll in,
Yeah, it's not that easy. And also, if you can often buy your domain through Wix, and that's not a good idea because exporting it's a nightmare as well. So, and getting your own, if somebody else is hosting your domain, and getting it to point at a Wix site is also a bit of a nightmare. You'd probably find it quite simple, but
it's the same as this. It's obviously Lewisham Landscapes.durablesites.com.
Yeah.
And
Well, look at that. Hang on. Durable.
I don't know how long that would stay there before they deleted it, before you
Yeah, you can't really keep that on your servers, can you?
no.
It's not published. It says coming soon.
Right.
That's what made me wonder, because you can have so many different websites in Wix. You can do this type of thing in Wix. It makes something you either start it from scratch or you use the template. But you can have so many different templates without either publishing them, or you can have so many different free domains, and then you can pay for a domain. So I was just wondering, where is it stored? Because it's not stored on your computer, and it's, how many do they say that you can have on their file?
Yeah. What's this on Wix, you mean?
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, you just pay for whatever you use, don't you? You pay for how many websites you create.
Yeah, but you can have free ones.
Yeah. You can still have free ones on Wix, can you?
Yeah.
Yeah. I suppose I guess you can just create as many as you want then. But then it must be crippled in some way, isn't it? Is it?
Must be. I would say so.
I don't know a lot about Wix, but I mean, I have had clients who wanted me to update stuff on Wix, and I have managed to do it, but it seems, but they've all been paying like £15 a month or something. So it's not, it's probably, dearer than a WordPress hosting.
Yeah.
So I mean, I charge £90 a year, but it's, there's you can get them cheaper. You can get them for £5 a month and things, can't you? Or probably cheaper, but it depends on what speed. There's all sorts of things to consider. Where it's hosting, if you got that.
No, I think
one in America called Gator Host or something like that. It's really cheap, but it's really, really slow because they've got millions of websites all on the same, all down the same little piece of wire.
I think I use oh God, can't remember, Hostinger.
Yeah, that's what reminds me of that one.
With that, I can put loads of websites on that if I want to, on the same one package, which seems to be quite good.
Yeah.
You can get your own space. I don't know how or do some sort of cloud.
I use 20i, and I've got a virtual private server on it. So everything I do runs on that server, but it's technically a cloud server, but it's in the data center.
Yeah, that must cost you quite a lot, I imagine.
Yeah, it's actually quite good. I've experienced that.
Got 16 cores on it and a ton of memory. So
yeah, 20i is really. I think 20i is one of the best. Certainly the best value, and they're UK hosted, the UK's based servers as well. So
yeah, that's why
it's supposed to travel at the speed of light, but it doesn't.
Well, that's why I went with them, because when I was doing your PCM and it was UK only, I wanted to make sure the data stayed in the UK jurisdiction. So they did have it in Leeds, but they moved it to Cardiff. But they gave me the option of having European, UK, or American servers. Where do you want your VPN?
Because we got I've got, because I basically use 20i for hosting all the things, but I do it through Philip, and but it's the same thing. But they do, his guys in Egypt do everything for me, So.
Oh, Jane, they do Unix boxes as well.
Yeah, I've never heard of 20i actually, so I'll have to look into that.
You can choose which platform. There's Windows. There's a specialist WordPress platform. There's like Unix and things. There's you can choose, even within, like if you've got their hosting account where I host about 70 or 80 websites. They can you can choose whether it goes on what platform each one goes on. Because some of them, I don't use the Windows platforms, but sometimes if people have got a lot of different websites that are not WordPress, I can choose the Unix one. And then,
yeah, that makes sense. Who are you using?
With me, same as Steffi, 20i, but I do it through Affinity, through Philip's company.
Was it you that told me about 20i actually?
Probably, yeah.
Yeah,
It's if you're hosting
to a client actually.
Mm,
That for a while.
but you just pay. I think if you're doing just WordPress hosting and things, you just pay £30 a month, and you can put on as many as you like. They all get backed up every evening.
They have something called a reseller account.
Yeah.
And you can host and register domain names. You can pretty much do everything. That's extra. I think that's about 40 quid a month. But you could literally build an entire web design business on it and do all your hosting and everything.
Yeah. And if people buy domains, then you get commission on that as well. So it's
and it's all white label. So when your customers log in, they don't know it's a reseller account, which is quite cool. I've just got a basic account because I want all my domains in there and my virtual server. Sorry, my virtual private server. And that's all I use it for. But you know, you can build an entire white box business on that.
Yeah.
Yeah. So good. What was I gonna? Yeah, Claude. We never actually spoke about Claude, have we?
No,
You're going to talk about llama as well, I think.
Oh, yeah. I was gonna. I'll just quickly run through it just to show you what I did yesterday, because I kept reading that Claude's better at reasoning and coming out with more natural language for stuff. So let's just
better than what?
ChatGPT specifically.
I think probably by my experience better than me. Certainly.
Where's my? It looks weird when I do the share. Okay, this is Claude. So this is get me quite short. I was doing I watched a video that was fascinating about why do smart things. I think I mentioned it before. Why do smart people believe stupid things? So I've used the same prompt, or why do clever people believe in stupid things? Have you ever tried to talk to a flat earther? And it doesn't matter what logic you use or what you tell them, or what photographs or information about, as a ship sailing away, you can see the mast last, and there's all these photographs from NASA of the Earth being round, and there is so much. The Earth isn't flat, right? We all know it, but when you talk to these people, they'll always put things in the way, because they just totally believe that the Earth is flat and everything else is just there out to deceive you. NASA have got some reason to make us believe the Earth's round, even though it's flat. We don't.
I didn't know that. You'll be saying Father Christmas doesn't exist next.
I know.
Yeah.
So
I can easily prove that the Earth is round with a simple £29 Ryanair ticket. Just fly south for 4 hours and see what time the sun rises.
Yeah. But they've got these complex models of how it would all work with a flat Earth, and it is kind of ridiculous. But anyway, the reason why people, because like you have two sets of people that seemingly intelligent who believe separate things, and people are biased, and bias is caused by our egos. So it's like they gave. I mean, it's quite robust, the evidence, because they gave. There's been millions of experiments, but they gave like a group of researchers in America a load of data, numbers to crunch, and they were told it was to do with childhood skin diseases, and they all did it perfectly. Then they was given the same data, and they were told it was to do with gun control, and they came up with which is controversial. It's not controversial here, we just don't want people to have guns, but over there it's a human right to bear arms, isn't it? So they came up with totally different answers depending on their political views. So they were even doing their job, which was evaluating data, they brought bias into it. So and that's the interplay. So anyway, the question I asked was, what is your understanding on ego versus curiosity and humility? The antidote to bias and ego is curiosity and humility. So being curious to find out things. You know, if you can't put your opponent's argument as well as they can, then you've got no right holding your own opinion, you know, trying to foist your own opinion on them. So it's kind of, and humility to know that we don't know everything and that we can still learn. So and how this would help people. So this is what the question I put in. I'm rambling a bit now, I'm running out of time. So and it came up with quite a reasonable answer. It was a little bit shorter than most of the others, but it's quite well written, and it is kind of nicely worded. You know, it's easy to read, so it's quite good. Because I noticed that ChatGPT, I did the same thing. It was a little bit more. It came out with good information, but it came up more. It was more listy and more informational rather than conversational. So if you were reading it in a book or reading it in an article, this is factually is great, but I think and I know we can modify this by prompts. So I'm not saying it's the be all and end all, because we can use prompts with ChatGPT, and you can actually use the equivalent of prompts on Claude, but you can't do that. But Llama, I use Poe to access Llama. I don't know. I think I've mentioned Poe before, Poe.com.
You have.
Get a lot of free stuff on there. You can generate lots of great images, stable diffusion, and you can use all sorts of chatbots. You can use so I used Mistral. No, this was the Poe Assistant, which was the normal one. It was okay, but it was a bit dull. Mistral wasn't bad actually. Didn't read as nicely as the as Claude, but it was quite good information. Mistral is a French is a French AI. Again, it's owned mostly by the people that set it up, but it's got some good, decent sized customers. Orange are using Mistral on all their phones and things. So not that Orange are a big player these days, but and they've, again, Microsoft have invested in Mistral. Microsoft seem to invest in most. Llama gave a great answer. Llama's pretty free. It was developed by Meta, who have made their models open source, but it was very personable, and it was really well written. I was quite surprised actually. It gave quite a full answer, and it was nice to read. It was quite good. So I was quite surprised by that, because it's free. You sort of, in your mind, you kind of devalue it, don't you? And then this is Claude Haiku, which gave me a similar answer to the other. Gemini, it wasn't very good at all. And so yeah, so I'm going to stop there because I'm running out of time. So that was it. But I put the same thing in lows and see which one I like best, you know. And
did you try Pi? Sorry to interrupt.
Oh yes, I did try Pi. Pi gave a good answer as well, but it wasn't as good as Claude. It was a bit short, but it was personable, as you'd expect. But it was, yes, I have tried that, but I haven't brought it up. I've got time. So, but I thought Claude was the most nicely written, but
Meta.
Maybe so. But that's, you know, that will change. As we said before, ChatGPT will bring out the next level, and that was it. Anyway, it's 11 o'clock, so I'm going to press stop.